Hey guys, Aggie here, welcome back to another video. We are going to continue with some reading, which is why I got the wheel set up. It is nearly 10 in the morning, and I haven't gone to sleep yet. Like, I'm tired. It's too hot in my room for me to sleep, so I haven't managed to fall asleep yet. So I'm hoping if I read some more, then that will hopefully help me sleep. But yeah, I apologize if the video is shaky as well because my hands are shaking a lot, which could be because I haven't slept, but you know, who knows. Also, apparently when I spin the wheel and I click hide slice, that doesn't actually delete it from my list. So I had to spend 10 minutes before I started filming to delete them from my list. There are 38 slices left, but that doesn't mean that there's 38 left for me to read, because as you can see, a few of them have like 2 volumes in each slice. Not in every slice, but some of the slices. So could be closer to 40-50. And I had a little shuffle around with my mangas to mostly stop them from falling, and this is the gap that I've managed to make. I did have to make the gap in the middle for this shelf because this shelf, I don't know if you can see, it doesn't sit back all of the way. When I was setting this one up, it took me 8 tries to realise that's why it was falling. So if this is not quite equal, it does tend to fall. Because this is the bookcase from the living room, it's like a few years younger than me, I think. So it is like really worn. It took me forever to clean it too, because it's just sitting in the front room like full of cobwebs and stuff. But that is why it does not match this one, because a lot of people are asking why the colours don't match. It's because this one was already from the house, so that one was bought specially for my room to fit that small gap, if that makes sense. So I'm trying not to talk a lot because I am aware I waffle on a lot in my videos because I get sidetracked. So I'm hoping this video isn't going to be another hour-long video, because I had to delete over 500 things from my phone to be able to export the video on CapCut, and that took 2 hours to delete everything, 3 hours for the video to export, and another 3 hours for it to upload on YouTube. And my phone was so hot, I thought it was going to just explode in my hand. So I'm hoping today's video won't be an hour long and we can just ignore everything that happened with the last video and me waffling on. I am trying to be better and not waffling, but I don't write a script for my videos, so a lot of it is me trying to think of stuff to say as my brain catches up with what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. So let's just spin the wheel. Okay, so we have blue flag number 1. We're gonna hide that. It's just here. It is kind of a tall one. That's the cover. That's the blurb. Now I'm going to go read it. I'm not going to time it because it's just easier for me to have this up rather than me having to switch between the clock app and then this app, and then having to do my password every time that I want to stop my clock app, like to stop the timer, and my fingerprint doesn't work anymore. So yeah, it's a bit annoying to do that every time, so I'm just going to read it. Going to write my review, hopefully remember to write my review, and then come back, talk to you guys about it, and do another spin of the wheel. Forgot what I was going to say then. So, gonna come back and tell you guys what I think of Blue Flag #1. So I finished reading Blue Flag. I started the video facing my bookcase because I was like, I look a mess because obviously I haven't slept. I was like, oh, I'm gonna look a bit more of a mess than usual. Let me film, the other way, and then you guys won't realise. And I forgot that I'm reviewing the books and talking to you guys about me reviewing the books that I'm facing you anyway. So that kind of just like defeat the purpose. But anyway, I did not have much of a review. I haven't read this one before, but it seemed really familiar. And I got like halfway through it and I was like, oh, it reminds me of My Love Mix Up. So where I did get a bit confused with that, I don't know if I will continue because it's just a bit too similar for me. I haven't finished My Love Mix Up either, so I don't know whether to finish My Love Mix Up and then come back and try the second volume of this, like buy the second volume and try that. But basically Tachi, the guy in the middle, Tachi, I don't know, similar names. This guy here, you can't see, the blonde guy has a crush on him and the dude doesn't realise, and the woman asks for the middle guy's help to confess her feelings and be more like the other dude's type, which, kind of love triangle situation, which is what My Love Mix Up is anyway. So I don't know if I will continue it just because it's too similar to My Love Mix Up for me personally. But obviously if you haven't read My Love Mix Up and you just start with Blue Flag, I'm sure it's going to be enjoyable for you guys. So I don't know. We'll see once I finish My Love Mix Up if I will continue it, depending on how I feel, I guess. So let's go do the next spin. Okay, that was a really tight squeeze. I'll put it back there. I did knock Caro off. So I don't know why that was such a tight squeeze when it was literally the same gap that I took it out from. But let's go spin. Okay, that one's only here, so that's fine. #2 of this series has just recently come out. I think it's... No, I killed the cats. I do think it's only a 3-part series anyway, so that's the cover. I will admit I did pick up purely for the cover because it's got cats on it. So yeah, it's got cats. So this purely was a cover buy. I don't know anything else about this series because I didn't read the blurb when I got it, but that's the blurb. Yeah, again, it is one of the more expensive ones, so where it is, I think, only a 3 series one. If I do like it, I might finish collecting it because then it's not that bad, because this is the same price I think as the Masterful Cat one. Oh no, it's a little more than the Masterful Cat one, and the Masterful Cat one is thin, but this one is thick. So hold on, I can't put the book back one-handed. I picked them up as well. But yeah, where it is a little, I say a little, it's a lot thicker than these ones, and it's like a little bit more expensive. I don't feel as bad paying £15 for it. as opposed to these ones that I only really buy if they're on sale, because I don't like buying them for retail. As much as I love the series, I do not have the money to buy them for retail. So I'm gonna go read this one and come back and talk to you guys about it. I just finished reading this one. It made me cry. So that's fun. I thought it was going to be a nice, wholesome story based on the cover. Guys, it is not, okay? Don't go into it expecting it to be a nice, wholesome story. Okay? Because it is really not. So I realised I forgot to rate Blue Flag. I gave it a 3 out of 10 because it reminded me too much of My Love Mix Up. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry some more. So basically, her mum and her dad didn't come home. Like, the mum didn't come home one day, and then it's just like her dad looking after her and her brother. And then he didn't come home. Apparently, it's like a suicide or whatever. It's only like briefly mentioned because it's mostly from Helena's point of view, so she doesn't really know. Because she's not really focused on that. She's just more focused on trying not to make her brother cry because like everything. And then so they get put into an orphanage, and then Arthur gets adopted. Arthur's her brother, and then he gets like a new family. And then literally as he was going to go into the car, as he's saying goodbye to Helena, he gets hit by a car, and I was like, what the fuck, because we're only like 24 pages in, and I literally said what the fuck out loud, yeah. And that's not even like the sad part. The sad part's like further on, but I don't want to say what the sad part is because I don't want to spoil it too much. But yeah, that was. It's not a wholesome story, guys. Don't go into this thinking it's going to be wholesome because it's not. I think I'll get the next one. Now that I know it's not a wholesome story, I might be better prepared, but yeah. It did make me cry. So, not a wholesome story. But yeah, I give that a 8 out of 10 because it made me cry. So it's not a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'm gonna go put that back and then spin the wheel again. But yeah, not a wholesome story, guys. Don't go in thinking it's a wholesome story because otherwise you end up crying like I did. So yeah, not wholesome. Okay, so I've put the book back. Now let's spin the wheel. They are. Oh, gotta move Bill out the way. They're here. I have just reshuffled them because obviously where I got that gap now, so I had to think about where they would be. So let's just move Bill. I got 2 and 3 to read. So this is the cover. Number 2. My hand was blocking the 2. And this is the cover for number 3. There is an art book for this one. Again, these are the same price as the Masterful Cat is Depressed, and they are the same thinness too. Sorry, I nearly dropped my phone. There's no blurb. But basically, she goes into like the video game industry because she's like really obsessed with this game, and it turns out that this one is like the creator for the game, and she didn't realise. So yeah, it's just basically her story of how she becomes like a popular video game creator. So I did enjoy the anime. If you don't, want to spend £14 on a manga that's that thin, the anime is obviously a good place to start. But again, it's one of the ones where it's only one season, so which is why I decided to pick up the manga. But I've only got 3 because of how expensive they are. I've only bought these volumes when I had holiday pay from work to spend, because then that's, technically free money. It's not really that much of a bother. But yeah, if I don't have holiday pay, I wouldn't have bought any of these, which is why I've only got 3 volumes, because of how expensive it is. So I'm gonna go read these, try and review it, and then come back. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm still reading volume 2. I just noticed there's like layers of like ink splotches. So this is your sign to check your books when you get them, even if you're not gonna read them for a while, because this is kind of, not really what you want to see when you open a manga. But yeah, this one's paneled like this, which is also kind of why I don't buy this one that often, because I don't really like the layout when it's like this. I much prefer it when it's in like the other form. But yeah, so check your manga, guys, because otherwise you're gonna have ink like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading, and then I will try and give my review. So what I don't like about this manga is this fan service. There was a little fan service in the anime from what I can remember, but I haven't watched it in ages. But the manga, it seems worse off, because I don't understand why they need this. Like, it is not relevant to the plot at all either. But yeah, there's a lot of pages like that too. But yeah, I don't understand it. That's also why I've been reluctant to keep picking this series up, because as much as I like the anime, I don't like the fan service in the manga. So I might see how bad it is in the next volume and then decide if I want to keep going, because there are quite a few volumes of this, but if the fan service is like this all the way through, I think I might drop it, because fan service isn't for me. So yeah, it's just a bit weird for me personally. I also found some more ink stained pages too, so you gotta be careful about that as well. So yeah, make sure you look through your pages when you get them, because now I don't even remember when I got these ones, so it's a bit late for me to go, oh, actually, I don't want it because of the ink stains. But yeah, fan service is in this quite a bit, which I should have realised, considering this is like the colour pages at the beginning. So I should have realised, but where I haven't read this in a while, I forgot about the fan service. So I'll see what the fan service is like in the rest of this volume, and then what it's like in the next volume, and then decide from that. So I'm starting on volume 3 now, and this character in the anime, she used to be tanned, and then they introduced obviously like this darker skin character, and then they ended up making her lighter because of that character. So yeah, if you watch the anime, just don't be worried if that happens. I do like when they have the colour pages in a manga. It is nice to see that, and only a few that I own have the colour pages like this. Like Apothecary Diaries has it. Why is that the only one I can think of? Okay, that's the only one I can think of right now. But I'm pretty sure I have a few others that have colour pages too. But right now, Aforikudari's is the only one coming to mind. So maybe I don't have as many as I thought. But yeah, I do like when they have the colour pages. It is nice, especially if you're manga only and you don't watch the anime, so then you can actually work out what the colour scheme is, because when it's like that, you can't really tell. So, yeah. Okay, so I have finished these two, and I don't think I will continue it, partly because it is, £14 per volume, and I don't know if that's going to increase in price, but 2 volumes basically make up 1 volume, and there's a lot more fan service in the manga than I remember there being. That, and I don't really like the way that it's laid out. I much prefer the other way. So I am just going to unload them, I do think, because it's not really that enjoyable for me. And I think if I did want to get in the mood to like read or whatever, I think I will just prefer to watch the anime. Not that I'm saying that there's not fan service in the anime. There is. It's just a bit less obvious in the anime, because there's a few bits that I picked up that was like, well, that's obviously, fan service, but in the manga there's a lot more of it, which I guess makes sense because they can get away with more stuff in the manga than they can in anime. So that's another 3 that I unloaded. So I guess, a win is a win. So I'm gonna go spin the wheel and then see what we're gonna go read next. So I took the first volume out as well, so I got a little bit of a gap there. But now we're gonna go spin the wheel, see what we're gonna read next. I have to remember where I put that. I think I put that one on my trolley. I'm gonna go try and find that, and then I will come back. Okay, so I moved my trolley over here so I could film it for you guys, because where it is currently is in front of my other bookcase, right by the window, and there's literally just enough space for the trolley to go lengthways, so I can't really film it that often because a lot of people ask what I keep on my trolley. So this is the top one shelf, and it is really bad. I had to have a bag on top to stop the tops of it getting dusty, because obviously on my bookcase it doesn't really get dusty on top. It's mostly just the shelves that get dusty, but obviously this does get dusty. So the top is just my thick omnibuses. So you got After the Rain, Cheese Sweet Home. These two are Cheese Sweet Home too. Colette Decides to Die, which, as you can tell, I haven't even finished reading the first one. Kitchen Princess that I got from a swap. The Wolf Boy is Mine. The Wolf Boy is Mine Part 2. Princess Jellyfish, and then Penguin Highway, which is the one that we are going to read. And it is a chunky one, so I might wait, and because where I haven't slept yet, I might wait and just do is a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be honest. So I might wait and pause on that one and just do a video of me reading the rest of my chunky ones. So I think that might be easier. So I'm gonna do that. I have some lights in here, some fairy lights there. That's a bit bright. There you go. Got some fairy lights there. But where they are, the battery ones, I can't put them on my bookshelf because they are somewhat long enough, but the battery block gets in the way. And down here we have my Natsume Book of Friends one, my tripod, these sunflower Legos that I made. They are supposed to be on this one, but obviously this shelf is very cramped, so I can't put them on there. My headphone on the bottom are like the easels that I had, and then a cosplay wig, and then the Lego box, because I don't know why the cosplay wig is there when I have a whole box for my cosplay stuff, but yeah, that's on the trolley. So I think I'm gonna spin the wheel again and remove that one from the wheel, so I can do a whole video of like just big volumes instead, because I got these two Chi ones to read, I got that one to read, these two to read, and then these to read. So I do have quite a lot of the chunky ones to read, so I might just do a whole video on that, and that will be easier, because I don't think I have the brain capacity to read this big volume right now. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put the trolley back and respin it, because I think that will be a lot easier for me. So this is the bottom of my bookshelf. All of my big stuff goes there, like my stereo and stuff, and this is the trolley, and like that's literally the amount of space I have in front of the bookcase, so that's why the trolley is there. It's right next to the window, which is also why it's awkward for me to film this bookcase for you guys. So when I eventually do a collection tour, I will have to move the trolley so I can film this once this has all been tidied up, obviously. But yeah, let's respin that. Those are, oh, Beppo fell. So they are here. These are the ones that I got from I knocked the cat off again. These are the ones I got from Maho because they were doing a bundle on Vinted, and then these ones were in it, and I was like, well, I don't want them. Who wants them? And I was like, you're okay, because I like the anime. So we're gonna read this, see if it's as good as the anime, or if it's about the same, I probably won't continue it. So that's the cover of the first one. That's the cover of the second one. And then, yeah, because these are 13 again, so they are expensive. So that's the blurb. Yeah, with the ones I've watched the anime for, I don't mind not picking up the manga, because a lot of them I did pick up the manga after watching the anime, like with Ancient Magus Bride. But Ancient Magus Bride, I really, really do love the manga for, so I don't mind collecting that one again. But Blendes, I watched the anime first, and then the manga I didn't really like, because it was just purely nostalgia. I forgot how weird it was. Spy Family, I watched the anime, and I started collecting the manga, and I didn't really like the manga, so I stopped collecting that. But yeah, if I've watched the anime and the manga doesn't really hit the same, then I'm not as sad to drop the manga. But if there's one where I get into the manga and I really, really like the manga, but then you can tell that the author just doesn't really like the series anymore, and you can tell that it's kind of like dropped off, I do feel bad about dropping that off, because I do like that series. It's just, well, the author doesn't have the same energy anymore. It does make it hard for me to enjoy it from then on, because the quality drops a lot. But yeah, also a lot of people have asked if my bookshelf is only 4 shelves long, and it is not. It is 6 shelves long, but the 5th shelf is like the Twisted Wonderland art books I'm trying to sell. most of the sci-fi bookmarks that I have, the taller books that I have, this stack of volumes from like the last reads that I did that I need to put up on Vinted, and this shelf is just manga that I'm trying to upload, which a lot of that is first volumes, so it will just be what I'm doing in my giveaways. So yeah, it's just 2 shelves of basically manga I'm trying to get rid of, so that's why it seems like my collection is only 4 shelves long. It did take me a while to get this shelf even have some manga books, because of where this shelf is one with the gap at the back and it's very top heavy. I didn't really want to trust the shelf and put books there, so I did for a while limit myself to only the first 3 shelves, and that was so bad because I had to really narrow down what I was reading, and I think that's what made me so burnt out, because I was limiting myself so much to just 3 shelves. And when I have such long series like Ancient Mage's Bride, Apothecary Diaries, Cheeky Brat, and then obviously Twisted Wonderland, Community Doke, My Love Story, and Layback Camp, and My School Cat, they are lots of volumes in a series, so that was also hard because I didn't want to unload those because I really like those series, and I am still in the process of trying to read through them all, so that was hard because it meant with all of those series I didn't have much space to get new series, if that makes sense. So it was really hard for me to sort it out just based on 3 shelves rather than having 4 shelves for me to do. But yeah, that was a really difficult time for me to sort my manga out, which is why I ended up moving the Blue Exorcist ones here, so I had more space. But yeah, I'm gonna go read these Harima ones and decide if I'm going to keep them or if I'm going to drop them. Okay, so I just finished reading these, and they are so far exactly like the anime, which normally I don't mind if I'm just, manga only, like with Apothecary Diaries. I haven't watched the anime for that, but a lot of people have said that the manga and the anime is like pretty much the same thing, so I don't really mind about that. It's just when I've watched the anime, having the manga be the exact same all the way through is, for me personally, I don't like. But obviously if you're into that, then it's good. The biggest thing in this series I never understood is that he looks like that, yeah, with like his hair, he looks all nice and decent, and then like I think it's like episode 2 or episode 3, I can't remember, they cut his hair and it's like, why are you doing that? Like, I guess so he can like hide his like secret identity because he doesn't want people to know that he's got piercings and stuff, but what, he was fine as he was. But yeah, that'll be these 2 gone, and volume 10. That's another 3 books gone. So, that's 6 books already gone. So, we are on a roll right now. Making all of this space, and I haven't bought manga in a while. Just purely because I have no money or space. But now I have space but no money, so I'm gonna, once I've read like quite a bit more, I think I'm gonna track everything on Vinted, see what sells, because for some reason, even if I reduce like the price of stuff on Vinted, I still don't get any sales. So I don't know if that's a me thing, but yeah, I just don't really get that many sales on Vinted anymore. I think I got like 3-4 sales and that was it. So I tend to use Vinted more to buy things than I do to sell things, which, just does not help my bank account. So I'm gonna go add these and volume 10 to the pile and then spin the wheel again. So let's go do that. So I made sure I put them on the pile before I put the cat back, just in case I knocked the cat off again. So let's spin the wheel. Okay, Fairy Cat Volume 1 is what Hawk and Sparrow got me for my birthday, because we were talking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, I want it, but it is a little expensive, like, just for me personally to buy it myself, because I don't tend to spend money on myself. But if it's like, oh bugger. But if it's for my friends, I don't mind spending the money. I just don't spend money myself because it's like, I don't, just knocking everything over, hold on. Yeah, because if it's for myself, I don't tend to buy things for myself. Because very much all of this is either what I got in Sao or what my friends have bought me. Like the trinkets and stuff. So, like, the manga wise, I tend to buy a lot of my manga on Vinted or on Sao, or if I've got holiday pay from work, then I'll do like a relatively big order. But I don't tend to buy stuff full price, because if it's for me, I don't see what the point is, because, you know, it's like, oh, it's me, you know, I don't deserve, I guess it's the word I'm looking for. I don't deserve to be spoiled, so, you know, there's like no point me doing it. But yeah, it's really cute because, like, look how small the cat is, and there's a cat in the title. But yeah, I've been excited for it to come out. It's also one of the ones where it's like £15. But yeah, it's basically, he's just a really small cat, and then the dude has to look after it. So I am excited to read this one. I know Sparrow herself is excited for me to read it because she wants the series too. Also, that's another thing I didn't understand. Sparrow and Hawk bought it for me, but Sparrow wants it, which is what she ended up doing with the Bond figure. She got me like this blind bag from a HMV, I think it was, of like Spy Family stuff. And then she got it for me, and I was like, oh cool, I got Bond, you know, that's the one I wanted. And then she was like, yeah, they look really cute, but I didn't buy myself one. And it's like, but why would you do that? You obviously want it, and then you bought it for me instead of buying it for you. So, I don't know, I think it was Christmas? I don't know, we buy each other, like, our friend group buys each other things, like, not all the time, but like often enough. I can't remember. So when it came to like when I was returning like the favour, I think I got like 2 or 3, and it's like, but why wouldn't you buy it for yourself, you know? But then I guess I don't buy things for myself, you know, I buy things for them instead. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but I was still like confused why she did it. Oh, I just noticed Solomon has dust on him. Hold on, I gotta find my stool. I like how I said find my stool, like it's not where my notepad is. My notepad was just on top of it. I meant I needed to move my stool so it's closer. I don't know why he has dust on him. It hasn't been up here long enough for him to have dust on him. I think it's because where he's got white hair, shows up a bit more. Because Barbados has dark hair. Bill is bright orange. So there you go, I think that's fine. Could also be because there's a huge cobweb right there. But yeah, I think that's fine. But yeah, I was very confused. Why shouldn't buy herself them if she liked them? But I nearly fell. But yeah, I guess we all do it, so I guess it kind of works out. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this, review it, Once Farah watches this, she's probably going to be screaming because I'm finally reading it. But yeah, I'm going to go read this. And hopefully I like it. Fingers crossed. And when I put it back, I can sort this mess out because Beppo has fallen. Look how dusty he is. I don't know if you can tell, but he's just got a lot of black dust. But I don't know how to clean him because he's like kind of like furry. Because this is hard, so I can just wipe it with like a dust cloth. But he is soft and furry, so I don't know how to clean him. But he's kind of dusty where he keeps falling off, and I haven't dusted my shelves because like I ran out of dusters, so it's like pretty obvious it's dusty. Because I use the anti-static ones just to be safe with like everything I have on my shelves, but I ran out of them and they're expensive, so I didn't buy any more. I was like, well, it's gonna be fine because, you know, I didn't really read that much nowadays, and I was like, you know what will be fun? Let me go do some reading videos, and now you guys can tell that I don't dust my shelves. So yeah, that was probably not my best idea. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this, review it, come back. Okay, so I've literally just opened it on the cover, but I just wanted to look how cute the cat is, like on the inside. Not really chapter names, but there are quite a few chapters. The art style looks pretty cool so far. I don't really want to give you guys spoilers. There you go. I just wanted to show you guys the small cat, so you guys can see how small he is. But look how cute he is. He's very cute and small, and I want him. He got hit by a raindrop, and now he is a sad cat. Okay, so I just finished reading, and I can't tell if you can tell on the corner, like there's like a film coming up. So I'm assuming when I accidentally knocked the book, I did that, but I don't want to peel it because when I had Monster High books when I was younger, it peeled, so I peeled it off and it absolutely ruined the covers. So I'm a little annoyed with myself that I did that, especially with how expensive it is. Now I feel bad. So it does say to be continued in the back, so hopefully there's going to be a volume 2. But I still feel bad because I ruined the cover, especially as Hawk and Sparrow got it for me and I didn't get, one for themselves. So I still feel really bad for that. It's a really nice wholesome one so far. That's not the page I want to show you. That page. The drawings are really cool too. It's a really nice wholesome one. I really do enjoy it and I will get the next one. I'm just disappointed in myself that I ruined the cover. But it's a really, really nice one. So I'm excited to read the next volume whenever that comes out. I'm really far behind on new releases. The only next new release I know is Cheeky Brat. The next Cheeky Brat comes out in October, and that's just purely because when I bought the last one on my birthday, there was a sign saying when it comes out next, because there was only like a few limited edition copies. Not like limited edition, there was only like a few copies left in the shop, so there was like a sign saying like the next one in the series comes out in October, so I might have more of like the book closer to when the next one comes out. So that's the only one that I know comes out next. But yeah, still gutted that I ruined the cover. But we're gonna go spin the wheel and then see what one we're gonna go read next. I did not write anything for this because I was too busy reading it. So you don't really have much of a review other than it's really good, you should get it. I give this one a 10 out of 10. I would recommend to a friend. So yeah, I'm gonna go spin the wheel and I'm gonna go see what I'm gonna go read next. Okay, now let's go spin the wheel. Okay, that's literally right behind my iPad. So now I'm gonna move that because I don't want to knock anything. It's 24 degrees, that is hot. Hold on. Okay, so I did have to come downstairs. My brother came in, so I had to pause. So like all of that noise wouldn't interfere with the video. I'm gonna have lunch and then I'm gonna come back to the video and read Mono, because that's the one that it landed on. But yeah, I'm gonna have something for lunch and then get back to the video. So it'll be like no time for you guys, but it's probably gonna be like 10 minutes for me. So yeah, I'm gonna be gone for like 10 minutes, but you guys literally just gonna be like 2 seconds. So I will see you guys then. Okay, I decided it's too hot to eat. It's gone down though. It was 24 degrees. But yeah, while my room's small, the heat is really bad, especially where it's at. What does that say? 56 humidity. So that's bad. But Mono is by the same people that do Laid Back Camp. If you can't tell by art style. From this is the cover. They basically looks like the cast of Laid Back Camp, except they've got a cat instead of a dog. And this is the blurb. It just basically seems like it's a photography club rather than a camping club that Laid Back Camp is, but pretty much the same premise. It is also £15, which is it's an expensive one considering how thin it is. But yeah, this is one of the taller ones too, which is why I'm kind of glad that I do mine alphabetical. So I did it next to Laid Back Camp, which is like by author, it'd be like really, really tall. But this one fits in with these volumes, so that's not that bad. I'm gonna go read this. It is kind of like this style, which I don't, as I said before when I was reading New Game, I don't tend to like it when I do like the panels like that, so I'm not sure how much I'll like it, especially if it's so similar to Laid Back Camp. But I'm not sure if Sparrow and Hawk have this one yet, but if I don't like it, I will most likely give it to them because we love Laid Back Camp. So I know if they love Laid Back Camp, they're most likely going to enjoy this one. So I should probably hide that slice. So we are slowly slimming down this, but I'm gonna go read this one and then let you guys know what I think. So I've literally just opened the cover. Really cute cat. These little pictures are kind of cool. It's really awkward to film because it's on my lap. Yeah, it's really cool. As I've mentioned before, I do like when they have the colour pages. There's another one. And then you got about like the characters as well. So that's pretty cool. Little blurbs of them too. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, now I'm gonna go read it and see if I like it. It'd be nice if they have an anime, because Laid Back Camp, I started watching the anime and then I got the manga, and I love the manga just as much because it's just as detailed as the anime. I haven't watched the latest season. That's just purely because I'm behind on reading the manga, so I don't want to spoil it for myself by watching the anime and then having to go to the manga, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this, see what I think. Okay, so I did put my hair up because it got really hot, so like my hair's a mess, but we're gonna ignore that. I didn't finish this. I tried, I really did try, but it's because I don't like when they do like the panels like that. But also it is really informative because of like obviously it's telling you about the cameras and stuff, which is nice because layback camp also is informative. But it's also got scenes like this, like where they're showing you the pictures and stuff, which is cool, but while I don't like the panel style as it is kind of just a bit too much with that as well for me personally. So I did message Sparrow and I was like, oh, do you and Hawk have this one? And she was like, no, we don't. And I was like, good, don't buy it. Um, so I'm gonna give this to them. They'll probably enjoy it more than I did because, as I mentioned before, I don't really like that style because it's just not for me. I think it's partly because not many that I've owned has that style, so I'm used to reading it, you know, across and then like down, but that one is down and then down, so it is a little confusing. And getting into manga, first of all, was confusing for me anyway. So I get confused easily. I think that's what it is. So I'm gonna give that one to them. I'm most likely going to wait until I've done all of my giveaways in my server, just in case they win any. Save on the shipping. Because it is 2 weeks until 6th month anniversary of this channel. So I'm doing all the giveaways in my Discord once I've worked out how to set them up. So make sure you join the Discord for that. It will be UK based only at the moment, just because purely for the fact it's coming out of my pocket. No one else is paying for this, no one's sponsoring this, it's just me paying for it. And EU shipping, Royal Mail says it can be anywhere from £9.30 to £10.50, which is stupid expensive. I don't like using Royal Mail anyway. Usually when I send stuff to my friends, I do in post, or if it's like if I've waited too long to do it because I haven't had the money because I got paid later than I was supposed to, whatever, then I use Royal Mail. But my local Royal Mail office is terrible. It has like a 2-star rating on Google Maps, so I don't tend to use them for that reason. So, but I can't use InPost for anyone else because InPost has to have my email address and phone number, and obviously I don't know you guys like that, so I don't really want to put that out there. So I will be using Royal Mail for that, just so I won't have to do my own details. So that's going to be expensive in itself, and adding EU shipping costs to that is going to make it more expensive. So I'll figure something out for the 1 year anniversary because I don't want, you know, you EU guys to miss out. And if I do it for my 1 year anniversary, be a little bit more special. I'm planning on doing my Death Note box set because I haven't read it. I've had it like 3 years and I haven't read it. And it's just sitting there staring at me because it's just like on the floor in front of my bookcase, and I feel guilty that I haven't read it, but I don't want to force myself to read it and make myself more burnt out, because that's what happened with the Jujutsu Kaisen ones that I had. I had the first 10, read the first 4. I was like, I don't like this. It's too overwhelming for me personally. There was a lot going on. A lot of it did not make sense, and I'm not a really big shonen person anyway. So I was just forcing myself to read it because everyone's like, oh yeah, it gets better, just read it. So I kept forcing myself to read it, and then I was just like, no, I don't want to read anything now because it's like, ugh, too much. So I think that's why I got burnt out in the first place, because I was just forcing myself to read something that I didn't like. So I'm trying to do better with that. So I haven't read Death Note yet. I'm probably not planning on reading it, so I'm gonna go give that away for my 1 year anniversary for YouTube, and then I might find another one online that I can just ship straight to the EU people and see if that is cheaper. Probably be through Sci-Fi, because I know they ship to EU. I don't know if Traveling Man does, otherwise I'll do Traveling Man. It depends on what's available at the time. I will be completely honest with you guys, it's not a set plan, it's just what I have in mind. Again, I'm not too sure how I'm doing these giveaways, so I don't want to put anything out there as like a concrete set yet. So just watch this space, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna go set this aside for Sparrow and Hawk so I don't accidentally put it somewhere it's not supposed to be. And we're gonna go spin the wheel. Okay, let's go spin the wheel. Okay, Twister Wonderland ones are here. Because I use the bookshelf app on my phone, I scan. Well, he's not supposed to sit like that. I scan the books on the bookshelf app as I add them, and then when I read them, I mark them off. And apparently, according to this, I haven't read 2 and 3 of the Heartsport arc, or 4. I've only read the first one, and it's like I could have sworn that I did, because why would I just read the first one and not read the rest and collect the rest? I know I hadn't read the anthology ones because I only had one at the time and I knew number 2 was coming out, so I wanted to wait until I had the second one too. And I know I haven't read these two because for some reason they decided to release this one, the Octanaville arc, like a month or 2 after the first one for the Savannah Claw arc, and it's like, but the Heartsport arc came out like 4 months basically, I think, for like the whole arc to come out. So I don't know why they've just made these two just come out at the same time pretty much. So I know I haven't read those two, and I know I haven't read the anthology, but apparently I haven't read 2, 3, 4 of the Twister Wonderland ones when I thought I had. And apparently for the Amy ones, I haven't read volume 2 or 3 either, although I could have sworn I had. So for those ones, I had to read it and see if I have read it, and just didn't mark it off in my app, or if I just generally didn't read it. So we're going to read the anthology 1 and 2, which is this one. I like the anthology ones because they are kind of chunky. Same with the actual ones. Because the Obey ones, they were fan made, I will admit that, but they are kind of thin. And I'm slightly disappointed that they only have 3, because as it goes, it's like the firstborn, which is Lucifer, then Mammon, and then you got Bill, which is the 6th born. So it does make sense that they were planning on doing all of the brothers, but then they just ended up with only 3 instead. So that is a bit disappointing. But I'm looking at everything over here. So I am excited with these ones. So this is the cover of the first one. You've got the freshman on the front, so you got Ace, you got Deuce, because all of the Heartsport ones, their names are like cards, because you got Ace, Deuce, Cater, Trey, and then Riddle, who's like the Queen of Hearts, and then I accidentally pressed I forget that he's Hawks. Yeah, so you have Ace, you have Deuce, you have Trey, and then you have Riddle. You don't have Cater, which is, kind of annoying. I don't know why they didn't do 5 volumes for that arc. Surely they could have fit, if they have enough to fit in 2 anthologies, you would have thought they have enough to do 1 other volume to fit catering, but apparently not. So yeah, you got Ace and Juice from Hearts of All. You have Eepal. I had to think of his name because every time I say his name, I call him Apple. And that is not how you pronounce his name. It's not how they pronounce it in the game either. I don't know where I get Apple from, but his name's Eepal. He's from Pomfire Dorm, which is like Snow White. He's basically like the poison apple. That is Grim, the cat. That is Jack. He is from Savannah Claw, which is kind of obvious because he's a beast man with his ears. That is Sayback. He is from the same dorm as Malleus. You know, he's got the same uniform, waistcoat, which is the Dysonia. I always forget that one. I don't know. But that one's basically Sleeping Beauty. Savannah Claw is obviously Lion King. Octanaville is Little Mermaid. Yeah, so that's Alice in Wonderland, Lion King, Little Mermaid, Sleeping Beauty. I don't know who's on the cover of this one. Okay. So you got Raggy, who is also from Savannah Claw, Azul, who is on the spine of the Octanaville arc, which is Little Mermaid. You have Jamil Viper, who is from the same dorm as Kalim. That is Aladdin. You have, that one's Jade because the black strand of his hair is in a J shape, and that one is Floyd, although you can tell because Floyd is like the crazy twin. They are basically the Mori eels from Little Mermaid, and Azul is supposed to be Ursula, and then obviously you got Riddle. And then you have Silver, who's from the same dorm as Malleus and Sayback, and he is Sleeping Beauty basically. So there is one other dorm which is, hold on, Ida is from that dorm, which is Ignihide, which is Hercules. He's basically like Hades, I'm pretty sure. So those are the 7 dorms. I had to go get my store to see my little corner. He was right at the back, so it's kind of hard to get. But yeah, I keep forgetting I got blue tack there from where keychains are. I'm trying really hard not to put them in the blue tack, but I like the covers. They're really cool. It is by the same person that does Black Butler, so you know the art style is amazing anyway. I don't know if these ones do. Hold on. So those ones didn't, so I just picked up the first one of this one, and they have like character references at the back. So they have like the characters and their designs and like their uniform and stuff. And that one's Cater. So yeah, it's pretty nifty. I do like it when they have stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go. That was loud. I apologize. I'm gonna go read the anthologies and let you guys know what I think, and we will probably spin the wheel one more time because I fear that this video is getting long like the other one was. I didn't mean for the other one to be over an hour long, and I feel bad doing that because I know a lot of people don't have an hour long to sit and watch my stuff. I feel bad doing videos longer than 10 minutes because it still surprises me that people sit down and watch my videos. So I feel bad when they're like long, because because I don't expect you guys to actually watch these videos, so I don't expect you guys to actually sit through more than 10 minutes of me talking. So yeah, I'm gonna read these, probably spin it one more time because the wheel was getting a little bit smaller. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this. I think I have a few other thick ones that I didn't remove. But yeah, I'm gonna go read these, come back, spin it probably one more time, and then I think that'll be it. So yeah. Okay, so I've just opened it and it's got this really, really cool drawing. It is not by Yana, it is by this person. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're important. That seems mean. But I don't know authors and illustrators for manga. I could not tell you, you know, who writes which one. So I'm not being mean, I'm just being completely honest. I don't know who they are, but that's pretty cool. And then you've got this one, which is also pretty cool. It is by this person, which is different to that person. Then you have this one, which is by this person. And then you have this one, which is by that person. And you have this one by this person. And then you have this one by this person. And you have this one by this person. And then this one by this person. I don't know if I'm giving you guys like oh, there's another one. It's by this person. I don't know if I'm giving you guys like a good view of these or like showing you guys how cool they look. Because it's really hard to film one-handed, but these are all of the ones that did them. So I don't actually know if they are fan arts of just like people who did them or if they're like actual artists or whatever, because as I said, I generally don't know those. So you know, that's if you're curious. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, okay, it seems like it's a collection of what people think it is. It's not actually just what Yana has like spare. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Like thoughts. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Seems like it's like a little collection of things, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, I'm not disappointed. I just thought it was just gonna be another like story part from Yana, but it's not. I'm still excited because I do like Twisted Wonderland. I am kind of obsessed with the game, I guess. I guess you could say that like I don't have a shrine. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this and then tell you guys what I think. Okay, so I'm on number 2 now. This is Professor Cruel. If you can't tell, he's based on Cruella from 101 Dalmatians. That's the artist. Got Trey by that person. Got Ruggy by that person. And then you got the Tanneville trio by this person. And then you got Pomfidon, which I realised when I showed you the other one, I didn't tell you guys their names. So that's Rook, that's Vil, and that's Equal. And that's by that person. And you have Idia and Ortho by that person. And then Malleus and Lilia by that person. All of these people. Okay, so I have finished reading these two. It did take me a while because they are quite thick. Yeah, I think the next one will definitely be the last one because my phone needs to charge. Yeah, it's really good if you want to get into the series but you're not too sure if you want to, you know, start, because there's a lot of arcs and stuff for the story. It is good to get into this first because it's just basically short chapters based on what the people writing it think of based on the game. So it's like a nice easy way to get into it rather than just going straight into the other volumes, you know. And the art style does change a bit because obviously there's different people writing the stories and stuff, but it is still a good one. I do enjoy it, but then again I might be biased because I do enjoy the game a lot. So I'm gonna go put these back on my shelf and then spin the wheel again. Okay, that is this one. I mostly picked this up purely because number one, the cover is really good, and number two, Lantis really enjoys this series. So a lot of people are recommending it, not just Lantis, but it's supposed to be a really good one. Again though, it is an expensive one because it is yen press. The yen press I found are really expensive. Same with 7 Seas. But this is the blurb. So it's supposed to be good, and by the blurb it does seem like one I would be interested in. So I'm hoping I like it. But yeah, I'm gonna read this one, give you guys a review, and then I think that'll be me done because my phone definitely needs to charge. So I think that will be the last one for this video. So I'm gonna go read that now. Okay, so I finished reading this and it was really good. I did enjoy it. The dog is cute too. Supposed to be a wolf, but sometimes he's drawn as like a Samoyed, you know, one of those like big fluffy dogs. There's a lot of detailed art in it too, which is cool. In the beginning there's not really that much text. It's mostly art, which is fine with me. The art is most of like the important things in manga anyway, and it's really funny because in the back you got an advert for Sama Spider Say What, which is one that Sparrow likes, and then the next page is Yotsuba, which Hobbit likes. So I just thought that was funny anyway. But yeah, this is a really good one. Like this is some of the art. I don't know if I'm showing it right, but I really like that one, so that's one that I'm gonna keep. So I only got rid of 6 today, but that's fine. That's still a lot of space that I've kind of freed up, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go put this away and I'm gonna go check how many slices I have left on the wheel, because I did remove the chunky volumes from the wheel so that next time, once I've finished all of the books on this wheel, I can do a wheel of the chunky volumes, and then after that I'll just go through what else I have, like volumes, like my laid back camp ones, my not so sweet boys ones, my love mix up, my love story, those ones, and then probably some Ancient Mage's Pride volumes too, because I do tend to just stick to the series. I don't really often buy new volumes, like first volumes, which is why I was surprised at how many I had when I was adding them to the wheel, because a lot of them were just like 1 or 2 volumes I had of a series that I had to catch up with, or a couple that I just haven't read. So I was surprised by the amount of first volumes that I had, but then I remember that when I went to Birmingham I just kind of bought first volumes. I didn't really buy much of what I already had, just purely because I couldn't find it, and I was like, well, I'm here to spend money. It'll be a waste if I'm not spending money, so I end up just buying first volumes. So yeah, I'm gonna go put this back, check the wheel, and then I think that'll be it for this video. So I worked it out and have about 26 left on the wheel. But obviously there's some that are like 1 or 2 volumes per slice, so it's probably, I can't even remember what number I said. I think I'm tired now, so I think I'm just gonna upload this video and go to bed because I still haven't slept yet. I haven't eaten yet either, so I probably should eat and then go to bed. But yeah, I probably have like 30 maybe volumes left. I don't know when to position this because I'm standing, because I kind of buried my stool again. So I'm used to like sitting in front of it, but I'm kind of standing. But anyway, that's been part 2. I'm just gonna keep the thumbnail the same so it's easier. I'm just gonna do a part 2 like next to it, like on the title. And I'll make a reading playlist too, because I didn't do it last time because I only had one reading video because of where I've been so burnt out. So yeah, I'm gonna make a reading playlist thing so you guys can look through that if you want to, and then any future reading videos that I'll make, I'll add to that playlist so it's all in one spot. But yeah, this video is probably going to be an hour long too, which I apologise for. I don't know, I waffle a lot, I think that's what it is. But yeah, that's been today's video. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.